Enokh Xmortiz joins me, Ned, on the Underground. Enokh, how are you going, man?
Yeah, how you doing? I'm doing great, man.
Yeah, doing really well, thanks, man. Now, first up, first things first, I want to know what's the go with the name Enokh Xmortiz? How did you come across that?
Um, well, I I did a copious amount of a psychedelic substance, and it
There
just
you
came
go.
to me one day, and I was like, "Yo, it makes a lot of sense." And then it started to make more sense. Like I'd already chosen the name, but then I started noticing stuff like, so Enoch, Book of Enoch, and Necronomicon Ex Mortis. So it's like the duality, as above, so below. And I was like, man, that really stuck. And so I decided to roll with that.
Yeah,
Two
sweet,
pieces
man.
of literature.
Yeah, in they go, sort of thing. And you're from Michigan, yeah. And you were telling me home of the underground. Why is that, Enoch? Like you said, you got shows left, right, and center type deal. Michigan, home of the underground, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. We have a very represented underground scene here. Like I said, there's plenty of shows every weekend. There's shows, if not during trickling through the weekdays as well. We're never shy of live events out here.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. So, what sort of attendances and stuff do you get there for the live shows? Is it a decent sort of underground following?
I mean, sometimes it's hit or miss, but I would say 75% of the time it's a decent crowd, 50 to 70 people, which is awesome. But, sometimes you get 15, 20, but we still
Yeah.
rock the stage the same.
Oh, I love that right there, man. And you yourself are from Battle Creek, is that right? Or that's where you are at the minute?
That's where I'm at the minute. Yeah, I'm from Kalamazoo, but moved down here to Battle Creek. Yep.
Yeah, I like it, man. I was saying to you through message and whatnot, I reckon there's a famous wrestler from Battle Creek. I couldn't work out who it was. It's Rob Van Dam, man. Surely you know RVD.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course, yes.
Yeah, and Kalamazoo, right? Yeah. What were you telling me about Tim Allen? That's wild, right there.
Oh, yeah, something about Tim Allen getting arrested with a bunch of cocaine up here in Kalamazoo. It's like the Kalamazoo legend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so amazing because I know about that from here. And I was saying to you again, like, I grew up watching Tim Allen and whatever. That's the reason why I'm a big Pistons fan. It's funny that you're from where he got busted because he's basically, Mr. Disney and all that sort of thing, plays Santa Claus. Before all that,
Yeah,
he's hanging out with you guys dealing coke. That's crazy.
yeah, insane, right?
Yeah, very wild, man. But I want to talk about you, man. I've been listening to a lot of your Rotten Rewind podcast with Ill Fortune as well. You're a 90s kid, is that right?
Yep, 95.
Yeah, there you go. Rugrats and Jason Voorhees type deal. I heard it in one of your songs there, man. So what did you grow up like listening to? How did you start in this sort of genre in the underground?
I was kind of like ushered in through bloodline. Like my parents, my aunts and uncles were all first gen juggalos. So they were fans of Nodis and Esham and ICP when ICP made onto the scene. They went to the first gathering, and I just grew up around nothing but that my whole life. I didn't even know the radio played music. I just thought it was a CD player for the majority of my childhood because that's all we'd ever listened to.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. So you just grew up going to like gathering the juggalos and all that sort of thing.
Oh no, I just grew up around them. You know what I'm saying? So this is from like the age of like 4 to like teenage years.
Yeah. So well, when did you sort of start dabbling into the music side of things then?
So writing my own music came about. I've been writing like music for a long time, like really trying probably about, I would say about 14. So I'm 29, so about 15 years, and yeah, I just started writing music, man. I was just a huge fan of like Twisted, Jane Madrox, and I was like, I just resonated with what he was saying, and I started just writing music, and I discover another artist and be like, okay, I gotta write like this. I gotta up, and then it just kept going and going until I just kind of like collectively just started breaking down all these styles organically and making like a compost pile that I just like used as fuel for my own writing style.
Yeah, I love it, man. And sort of, what would you describe your music sound as, Enokh? Because like it's definitely fun, and I thought interesting to you being like around that 29-30 mark. Do you have a full length album out, or is it all just singles?
Yeah, no, I have no album out. I'm actually working on the album right now. It's pretty much done. I'm just wrapping up a couple loose ends on it. But yeah, no, I didn't want to do a album out the get because being the new guy on the scene, I knew people's attention spans aren't like if you listen to a lot of my songs, I keep them around 2:30 to 3 minute mark because I know how people are nowadays and attention spans are very limited. And I knew that if I came out the gate with an album, new kid, ain't nobody going to pay me no attention. But if I hit you with 41 singles in a row, week after week after week, then maybe people will start, snowball effect is pick up fans and people to support it. And now I'm to the point where people are wanting an album. So when I release it, I know it'll get listened.
That's actually like brilliant marketing right there, man. Because yeah, like I discovered you through ill fortune, like the Rod and Rewind what we're talking about. So very, very new to you sort of deal. And I'm going back and through. I'm like, this guy's very clever. Like you've got the single after single after single, exactly what you just said about the attention spans and that sort of thing. And it'll just want them asking for more sort of deal, man. And but you are working. I was thinking, man, maybe he's not even going to release an album, but there is one in the works. You're saying,
yeah, there is one. I'm actually letting people get featured on my music because if you listen, nothing in my catalog of my music has any features. So I didn't want any cosigns. I didn't want anybody to say, "Oh, he did it. He's here because of this person." I didn't want none of that at all. I wanted to do it all myself and build something for me, by me, no cosigns, no nothing like that. And now I'm finally like, okay, now I'm going to let people in. Now I'm going to work with people. I was working with people, like they would get features from me, but I wasn't going and getting features for my own projects because I've had so much written, 15 years of writing. I've only been releasing music for going on 3 years. I mean, this filing cabinet behind me is like 30 drawers. It's all just full, and I got so much stuff everywhere. I got to get it out.
Oh man, that is wild right there. And well, you're very like similar to me when it comes to movies and all that sort of thing. You got that very horror movie background. I love that too. But man, the artwork. I want to talk about the artwork on your albums first. Is that you as well, or is that like who's behind that?
So a lot of those artworks and covers are just like really old 1940s and 30s, 20s horror comics that just got lost in time. So I would just revamp them and just try to bring some new light into that stuff, and gives, I guess it gives it a little bit more exposure. I mean, it works for what I do, and yeah, it seems to work fine.
Oh man, it does. It's very, very catchy. Again, going back to what I was talking about before, short attention spans. You see the awesome sort of artwork. You think, man, I got to listen to this. But dude, you made me feel like one of the biggest sort of, I don't know what it is, like listening to your podcast. You're a big movies guy, and on one of the recent ones, you were talking about Blair Witch Project, how it didn't even scare you, sort of thing, at the age of 6. Right? So, man, I'm like 18 years old when this, when I first saw it. I was beyond terrified. How on earth are you watching Blair Witch Project at 6 and bored by it, man? Like, I think that says a lot about you.
My mother was very anti-protective. She would just, give me her entire VHS collection since like the age of 4 or 5. So I would go to school and everyone would be talking about superheroes. Like X-Men were really big back then, and I'd be like the kid, like, what can he take on Jason? Like, because that's who I was watching, and looking back, I'm like, yo, I would never let my son like freely watch the stuff that I was watching. But it like developed something in me where I'm like, I just love horror. I love practical effects. I love the time and effort it takes into creating that. Just a creative process. I watch horror movies to not be scared, but to be amazed at the creativity behind it.
That's crazy right there, man. And like, yeah, like it definitely shows out in your like in your music too. And then like listening to the pod, like it's like this guy, he knows his stuff. Like I would not want to go one on one with you in a horror movie trivia challenge because you are next level, my friend, and someone that at the age of 6, it's definitely must have sort of molded you who you are today because I found that movie's shocking and you're just like, oh man, it was boring. At 6, that's insane, man.
Yeah, around like 10, 11, I hung out with some older kids who had introduced me to the extreme horror. So like
Yeah.
August Underground and things along that nature. So then by the time, you know, um, I'm an adult, it's like I've already been exposed to everything there is to offer, so it's like,
Nothing shocks you.
no, not much. There are a few movies I refuse to watch again, like Serbian film. Like there's certain movies that just cross the line for me that I'm like, nah, yeah, not for me.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's definitely an awesome podcast, man. I've been like only 3 episodes deep at the moment, but I think you and Il make an excellent team, which makes me
Yeah,
think, man, surely you boys are going to release some music at some stage, like a little side project or something like that.
oh yeah. There's something coming. Yeah,
Watch
we
this
did a song on his album, on his last album called Mud, Mutanoid Underground Dwellers, and that's a
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
hint for
yeah.
what's
Oh,
coming.
okay, nice, man. I like that there. And like again, referring to that podcast, there was something in there real quick that did catch my attention. You guys talking about making movies as well? Is that something that might happen? Because that's a man with your
Yeah.
experience when it comes to horror. Like that would be cool to see.
Yeah, there is a buddy of mine who I met online who lives in the same city as me who's making an independent film called Stoner Snake. And he had hired me to do the theme song. So I did the theme
Yeah.
song for the movie. And they hired me to act in it. So I'm getting my like a lead role. So I'm getting my debut in like the horror scene in the movie aspect. And also I can be behind the scenes and learn, because that's what I want to do. I make music because music's easy. I don't need anybody. I can do it all myself. I want to make movies, but that takes a lot more effort, a lot more planning and resources. So, but it is coming down the line at some point.
Oh, there you go. A bit of the case of Watch This Space, man, and Crazy. Is Stoner Snake like one of those out there, sort of over the top, like, I don't know, 3-headed shark type movies, or what are we talking there?
Yeah. It's just like that.
Oh,
From my
man,
understanding, that's exactly what it is.
cool. So when does that one go into production?
Hopefully this summer or fall, sometime around there.
Yeah, right, man. You got very, very cool things coming. So let us know about it, man. You got the new album coming out soon. What more can you tell us on that side of things, Enokh?
Got a bunch of gnarly artists on here. Cartoon Bondurant, Thick Chris, Ill Fortune, Poltergeist OD, Mike Tech. And hopefully squeeze in a couple more good artists. I wanted to keep it real underground,
Yeah. Yeah, so and what are we talking like release date wise? Like how soon is it? You said you've pretty much wrapped it up.
Yes, I just got to take care of the last 2 songs, which I'm just waiting for people to come back with their features, and then we're good. I want to do some like things in between, like the songs, like skits, but not skits,
Nice.
but kind of like skits, Like you said, I'm a 90s kid, so I'm like infatuated by those old 90s commercial style, new from Hasbro, So I want to add some funny little things in there like that. I'm hoping to get it out. I want to shoot for June, but I might have to push it to July, but hopefully somewhere in there. But I'm also going to be releasing singles along the way. Like tomorrow, I'm going to release a single called Slime Ball off the album.
Oh, tomorrow. There you go. That'll probably be out before this one even drops, man. That's very cool. We'll have to put that one.
So if you're watching this, go back and check it out.
Yes, sir. I love it, man. So you're a 90s kids. What's the coolest thing out of the 90s, Enokh?
Oh, dude, Street Sharks.
Yes. Are they making a movie of that, or am I imagining
Oh, I
things
don't
there?
know. I wish. I wish a live action Street Sharks movie. Psh, take my money now.
Man, no, I'm thinking Biker Mice from Mars is what I'm thinking. Did you see
Oh
their
yeah,
work? Yeah, that'd be cool. But
yeah,
yeah,
that,
Street Shark,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Street Sharks is like top of the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, man. Love it. And all right, so we've got the new album. We've got yours and Ill Fortune's podcast in the Rod and Rewind podcast, which is fantastic. And we are just talking horror movie, like you're rewinding to old school horror movies, reviewing movies, that sort of thing. New album, the podcast, acting. I did see up on your Facebook page that you've got some merch coming out as well. Like, where can we find that?
Yeah, so currently right now I'm just like doing everything like myself. So you just shoot me a message on any of my platforms, just like, yo, I want some merch, and then I just ship it out to you myself.
That's it. Yeah, that's real underground right there. I love that.
Real
Man.
underground, yes.
Yeah, self-made, definitely. Is there anything else that we need to know, Enokh?
Bunch of shows coming up. I got a show in Ohio. Anybody watching from Ohio, July 4th through the 6th, the Red, White, and Blue Festival with Clockwork E and a bunch of underground guys. And rumor is I might be out there in New Hampshire for Lethal Weekend. We'll see if that happens. And yeah, I think that's about it. Like the big shows. The rest of them are just like local shows.
Oh, awesome, man. Love that. All right, Enokh, before I let you go, I always ask my guests this, man. I want to grab a recommendation from you. It can be anything, man. Like, it can be a movie. It can be another artist. It can be, I don't know, an activity that you get up to, that sort of thing. What's Enokh recommend?
All right, let me recommend my homie Cartoon Bondurant, right? Go check out his music. He's from the group Cora Horror. Awesome dude, awesome music. You guys, if you know me, you probably have seen him working with me. And then I'll throw a movie at you too. Go watch Frankenstein Girl versus Vampire Girl. All right, Yoshihiro Nishimura, my favorite director of all time. He does Tokyo Gore Police. Go check those out. You won't be disappointed.
Frankenstein Girl versus, what was it? Frankenstein Girl versus
Vampire Girl. It is completely bonkers, off the wall. If you like practical effects and handmade monsters, imagine like a adult X-rated Power Rangers in a way. Yes,
that's sick.
all of his movies are like that. They're fucking insane, but they're so good.
Oh, man. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking a bit of time out on a Saturday night, man. Really very much appreciated.
Brother.
If you want to hit this man up, Linktree, Enokh Xmortiz, hit that up. We'll put it up on the socials as well. Thank you so much, man. Much appreciated.
Yeah, much appreciated, man.